I'm going to be replacing the belts on this Diamond Core Cut floor saw. Keep watching the video, I'll show you how I do it. Hey, what's up guys? It's Jeff Lepard from DoItAllCeiling.com. Today we're going to be replacing 3 brand new belts on this Diamond Core Cut floor saw machine. The belts have actually snapped and the blade got wedged in between the asphalt when we were cutting it, and it burned out the belts. So we're going to go ahead and change them. First thing we need to do, we just have to take off this cover that will give us access to the spindles and the engine where we're going to actually replace the belts. So I'm going to go ahead and get my ratchet. I got a screwdriver there to help get the belt on. I've got my wrench. Those are the tools that I'm going to use to change this. Okay, so we got a 9/16. We're going to have to take this off here. And on the inside, there's 2 bolts. I have to use the wrench to gain access to this. It's a little tricky once you get in there. Okay. When you get loose enough, you can start using your fingers to tighten it. To loosen it, rather. Yeah. Okay. There's the 1 bolt. Some bushings in the middle. Spacing it out, spacers. Now we got to take this front off. Okay, here we go. Got that off. And that's the cover that was in the way. Now we have full access to the engine, crank, and then the axle for the saw. First thing we need to do is we need to clean out these grooves where the you can see the fragments of the old belt has melted. So I just want to make sure these grooves are nice and clean. So I'm just going to get a rag and a little bit of brake cleaner, and I'm just going to go ahead and clean those out. Okay, so you can see it's pretty dirty. Just I've soaked the brake cleaner in a towel, and I'm just going back and forth in the grooves just to pick up all the burnt rubber. Okay, so we've cleaned out the grooves. So now we're gonna go ahead and install 3 of these belts. They're actually, not that it matters, but these are 3VX300. There you can see, 3VX300. I've got 3 of these belts. They're the exact belts that are the measurements, the correct measurements for the saw. So I'm just gonna go ahead and install these. So the trick of this is you've got to install them, get them around the grooves, and then you have to jump each groove. The first belt's got to go onto the last one, the second belt on the middle, and the third on the last on the front. So the first one, going to loop it around like so. So I just went around here. So I'm going to loop this around the first notch. Now this is where it comes a little tricky. You're going to have to use the screwdriver to force the belt into the groove, and you do this by turning the saw wheel. Sometimes it's a little tough. Like so. So now it's on the first groove. This is the first belt. I need it to go onto the last groove. So we've got to jump one by one. You jump it on the saw side on the axle, and you have to jump it up on the engine side. So let's first jump it on the engine side. So I'm just going to take my screwdriver, and now I'm going to go backwards so that it jumps onto the second groove. This is where it gets a little tricky. Okay. Okay, like so. So now I'm gonna move it forward, and I'm gonna jump this onto the second groove as well. Okay. Crank. Like so. So I do the same thing, the same belt. I'm gonna put it onto the third groove. Like that. And then the same thing here is gonna go on to the, oops. So make sure it's not twisted. So we just have to untwist the belt. There we go, like so. So that's the first belt installed. We do the same thing for the second and third. Let me know what you guys have done in this particular case, if you've worked with this type of saw before, and let me know what brand saw that you guys use in the comment section. Be interesting to know. Thank you guys. So before we put the cover back on, what we want to do is fire up the saw to make sure that this actually is working correctly. There's no point of putting the screws and bolting everything back on if we have to take it off if there's a problem. So as you can see, the saw started up fine. Nothing's wrong with the belt. It's not hindering the motor to operate any slower or cause any problems. So now we can replace the housing cover back on and we can get to work. Okay, so everything's ready for the housing cover installed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slip this over. Okay. In the general position where it's going to go. And first I'm going to bolt the front one on. And these are the bolts here. Just going to get my bolt through. And then there's a nut behind it that I have to tighten on. Okay, so we've got to get these spacers through. On the other side of this, just going to go thread them through spacers and then through the whole saw, like so. These bolts are going to go on the other side, underneath. Hand tighten them for now. One more left. If there's anybody that you know that would benefit from a video like this, please share the video with them. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Okay, the second nut is hand tightened. So both of them are still loose. I just wanted to get the housing secure into position. So now I'm going to tighten them. Okay, you want to over tighten it, just hand tight. Okay, so the back's on, secure. Now we just need to tighten the front. Okay, again with the screwdriver and the wrench. That's it, guys. So I just want to thank you for watching the video. It's simple to do it. If I can do it, you can do it at home too. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Bash that bell for upcoming videos. Turn notifications on. And we'll see you on the next video. DoItAllCeiling.com. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.